What's up everybody, my name is KAAYALL, and almost 5 years ago I made a video on what I thought were the 6 ugliest cars. If you rewatch that video now, it's not really good quality. For example, the video quality is so poor, it looks like it was filmed on a brick phone that had the camera feature fitted to it for the first time. And if you try and listen to what I'm trying to say in the video, you really can't, because I decided it was a really good idea to use copyrighted music at the time in my videos, and I put it on full blast. So yeah, the quality of it isn't very good. However, I actually really enjoyed making that video, and I thought I would do a sequel to it, only this time I would pick the 6 best looking cars. A couple of rules: the cars can only be from the 21st century, so from the year 2000 to now. It's only fair because the car list I did previously, they were all cars from the 21st century. And let's face it, there are quite a few old cars that are really good looking, like the Jaguar E-Type. So that I don't just pick supercars, I decided to use the same sort of categories that I used in the previous video. So we'll have the likes of best looking convertible, SUV, Super GT, small car, supercar, and then all round general car, just to make it a bit more fair. And a final disclaimer before we begin, this is my opinion alone entirely. You may have a different opinion to what I say are the 6 best looking cars from those categories, so therefore I'd like you to comment down below what you think are the 6 best looking cars from the 21st century using those categories. So without further ado, let's begin, and we're starting with the best looking convertible, or should I say one of the best looking convertibles, which I think is the Mark III Mazda MX-5 from 2005. What I like about the Mazda MX-5 from that era is the fact that it takes its styling cues from the RX-8 sports car. So in some circumstances, the car styling is very sporty. Its appearance is quite inviting. It's a friendly looking car, it's not aggressive. It's not like if you saw it in the rearview mirror you'd feel intimidated by it, unlike say like an Audi, which is right up your rear bumper on the motorway and would probably scare the crap out of you. Other good points of the MX-5 styling is that it looks quite low, it's nicely proportioned with some really good curves. I don't think there's a lot of negativity towards the styling of the car, and unlike the new Mark IV, I don't think the front end is that bad looking. The Mark IV, it's a bit too overstyled. The Mark III just plays it very cool and safe, and there's nothing wrong with that. Moving on to best looking SUV, which is the 2019 Volvo XC90. So you're probably expecting me to say the Lamborghini Urus or the Bentley Bentayga, but personally the Volvo XC90 gets better and better with each iteration. Volvo styling has improved so much over time, and it really shows. This car looks very contemporary and very minimalistic, and these days minimalistic is a very popular, in fact probably one of the top trends in design. And unlike other SUVs, it's not trying to be based off anything sporty within the car range. The Lamborghini and Bentley, as well as the Aston Martin DBX, the Maserati Levante, and don't get me started on the Rolls-Royce Cullinan. With those cars, they're based off of sporty or long, low and wide versions of cars within their range, and trying to put that in a tall, compact box doesn't always work. It makes the car look a little bit ugly, in fact. And in some cases it may work. So for example, the Alfa Romeo Stelvio is based off of the Giulia saloon car, which is a really good looking car, and I guess it works in that instance, but for those more premium brands, it just doesn't work. And that's what I like about the XC90. It's its own design and style, and it's not OTT in appearance either. For example, some older Range Rover models have too many grills and nostrils on them, and it just makes the car look a little bit ugly. With the XC90, it's just very clean and simple, and that works well in design. Now on to the best looking small car, which I think is the Alfa Romeo Mito. This is an instance where the styling cues kind of work in a way, as the Alfa Romeo Mito is based off of the Super GT 8C Competizione, a really stunning car. I really love the sporty styling of the Mito. I like the creases that start from the bonnet and go towards the rear end of the car. It's an urban fashion statement, but it's not trying to be some cutesy stereotypical thing like the Fiat 500 is, which is a really good thing. In fact, I wouldn't mind owning an Alfa Romeo Mito, even if it's not the best in its class. You know, it's not got the best interior, or it may not be the best car to drive out of its competitors. I still wouldn't mind, because I really am intrigued by the Alfa Romeo Mito. And now onto one of the best looking GT cars, which is the 2008 Aston Martin DBS. We all know it as an iconic Bond car, but it's also an iconic modern classic. The styling is very aggressive, but it's beautiful. It has very sharp bone lines and creases, with nostrils on the bonnet, which I don't think are overkill. And also, because the Aston Martin DBS is based off of the DB9, it's still a very stylish car to this day, and it has hands down one of the best side profiles I've ever seen on a car. Now onto the best looking supercar, which is the Ferrari 458 Italia. If you know me well enough, you'll know that this is one of my favourite all-time cars. This is Ferrari perfection in styling. It's a big step up from the Ferrari F430, which I don't think necessarily is a bad looking car, but compared to the 458, it sort of is not very good looking. It is very beautiful to look at. It's got really nice creases and it's really nicely curved. In fact, because of those things, it makes the car in terms of its appearance look really smooth. The front vent, although styled to be aerodynamic to allow airflow to travel through the car, is also a piece of art. The styling and design will never age for me. I think this is definitely a modern classic. It's not over the top with the styling. For example, the headlights are very nicely proportioned. I think this is a better looking car than the current F8 Tributo, which I think is personally overstyled from the front and the rear. The 458 therefore proves that less is more. And finally, on to the best looking car in general, and this is going to the Pagani Zonda F. This is definitely one of those pin-up poster cars with very retro styling, with very soft lines and creases, and a really cool pointed front end. I think it has one of the best styled rear ends. It's completely iconic and it's almost sci-fi looking as well from the appearance. It has a very epic side view, and this car in general is an art piece. In fact, when fossil fuels eventually die out, I definitely think the Pagani Zonda F belongs in an art gallery. The amount of attention it will get will be insane. In conclusion, those were my 6 best looking cars, and I still want you guys to comment down below what your best looking cars are from the rules that I created, and what you think of my cars that I picked. Like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys real soon. Bye.